Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's season 2, episode 6, entitled Protect Your Neck. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the mini marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. Power and Vine talk business. In order for them to get an album, they need to have a single. It's something that distinguishes them. It's self-distribution. If they want to get the DJs in the local spots to put it on the shelves, they need about 5,000 vinyls and 5,000 tapes. They then debate about which single should be released. The Method Man track is doing well in the streets and the ladies love it. The only problem is Method Man is the only one that's on the track. People need to know Wu-Tang is a group, and maybe they should consider Tears as well, but there's only 2 members on that track. It's Ghostface and RZA, but it's not for the clubs. Bobby interrupts the back and forth and states that it's not Tears nor Method Man. They don't have what they need right now, so they gotta just start from scratch. There needs to be a track that will introduce all members of the Wu-Tang Clan to the entire world. It's like making a first impression with a chick. If it's not right, then you're not getting into the crib. It needs all of the above. It's got to be rugged, grimy, you can play it in the clubs, and have all members on it. They need to do a posse cut. Power and Vine press that they don't have any more time or money for another track. They only have enough money for 2 days in the studio and some presses for vinyl and tapes. Bobby says that they need high BPM and high energy. He wants a few days by himself to figure out some things, and if he comes up with nothing, they can roll with putting something else out. Bobby is mindset and determined to come out with something vicious. He listens to countless R&B and jazz classics from the Shaft soundtrack to Miles Davis. Power calls and says that the studio is booked for tomorrow, and it's the only availability that the studio has. They're booked for the entire month. They get 2 days to work with, and that's it. Bobby pays a visit to several record shops looking for something distinctive and unique. While looking for vinyl, a familiar face shows up inquiring about Dennis. Certain people have wondered about his musical status since he recorded No More Mr. Nice Guy as D-Lover. He learns that the D-Lover name is no longer existent, and he goes by Ghostface Killer. There's producer trash talk back and forth about being able to find good material. Dude even goes further to say that he has a session with Pooba next week. Bobby sees vinyl that makes him stop in his tracks, and the other producer notices. He's so curious about what Bobby has picked up that he's asked the store clerk, but she doesn't know what he purchased. Bobby returns home to play Aphrodisiac, the album by The Main Ingredient, for inspiration. There's a directorial representation of the performance by connecting the emotions of the lyrics with the instruments blended with the angelic voices. Bobby then isolates certain instruments and brings forward vocals, bass line, and guitar. Bobby reminisces how his uncle told him that Stevie Wonder wrote this song, and he should know since he played the song countless times over and over again. The childhood memories, the innocence, and positive energy resonates. He tries so many isolations, removing vocals, then guitar, then speeding it up and slowing it down. He's trying to mold the music into whatever he needs it to be. He then loops the electric sitar notes and combines melody tempos. He plays the Honey Drippers' Impeach the President, but he's only interested in the drums. The hi-hat and more rugged sound is emphasized. It's a beautiful combination, and this is a potential track. Bobby plays the track at the studio for the engineer Ethan, and he wants him to have a 40 dB on the bass. Everyone is digging the track, and no one can lay down a verse until RZA says so. First up is Inspector Deck, and Jizza is last. Dennis arrives, and he's surprised at the progression. There's actually a studio, and everybody is focused. Ethan tells Dennis that he's heard nothing but great things from Bobby, and he can't wait to hear his work. Dennis then introduces himself to Ethan as Ghostface. There's more directorial artistry about everyone's creative process and creativity. After Inspector gets on the mic, now it's time for Dennis, but he's not ready. So instead, they move on to Raekwon. After listening to both verses, Bobby feels like the lyrics aren't lining up. Ethan thinks that everything is fine. All of the levels are great, the beat is fire, and everybody loves it. Hassan is ready to get into the booth, but he has lyrics that he wrote when he was 13. Hassan thinks that there's nothing wrong with the lyrics, but Bobby wants him to go back to the drawing board and come up with some fresh material. Dennis channels the additional focus, and he feels the pressure along with self-doubt. Dennis still isn't ready to go into the booth, so they have to go on to the next person. Once again, Bobby feels like the vocals are not matching the beat. Ethan thinks that he's having producer burnout, and maybe he's overthinking everything. The vocals and the beat sound great. Bobby wants a harder beat, something unpredictable. Hassan returns with lyrics fast, and not only was it fast, but the lyrics are genius. Bobby then notices that Dennis is missing and has bailed out on the session. Later on, Dennis has writer's block while attending to his son, and he can't seem to focus. Bobby listens to the recording at home and is stuck trying to figure out the song's fluidity. Now he thinks about a totally different beat. Dennis stops by and he's frustrated he can't make any of his lyrics stick. Ironically, Bobby feels that everything is clashing. They only have one more day to record in the studio. Dennis suggests that maybe they should record at Bobby's place because the studio feels a little forced. It's not coming together, so they take a break. After a much needed break and food recharge, it helps with more creativity. Unfortunately, there's more ideas and more layers, and this causes more confusion. Bobby takes a moment to think about simplicity, and a signature sound emerges. It's the final day in the studio, and Ghostface lays down his verse, and so does RZA. Later, everyone else arrives, and they love the new beat. Last but not least, it's time for GZA. Divine and Power nod to each other in agreement that it's time that the single be pressed and released. You best protect your neck. Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. And that is the end of the episode. Now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. Now I'm gonna make a good guess that a lot of people, when they watch this episode, that they didn't like it. And that's understandable because there's a lot of symbolism and art directorial scenes. Now, when I say directorial emphasis or directorial scenes, this is just a depiction of maybe how an artist would think or what the writer is thinking, given to us in such a way that we can see symbolism and not get caught up in a script. Sometimes verbal representation can get lost. So being able to see RZA's, right, production process allows you to understand how he went about it. Listening to a song, getting the emotion and the feeling, and isolating certain elements of the song, isolating instruments, isolating singers, isolating the different changes and tempos in music. So I thought that was beautiful, and it helps one to understand. If you don't play any instruments, you can understand how this is done. So I actually thought that was genius. I just thought in my head, oh my goodness, I think viewers are going to think that's corny, and why did they do that? And they showing the different things, speeds and all this other stuff. But if you don't look into the depth of it, you'll miss it. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, might do that. Also, there shows the frustration of artistry and somebody else thinking it's absolutely phenomenal. Oh, this is great. I don't understand where the problem is. I think you did a wonderful job. This is coming together. Why can't we just, sign, seal, delivered and, be finished? And we see that with Ethan, who's an engineer, and we see that with the RZA. It's like, yeah, I know that the levels are right, the vocals are great, but it's just something that's missing. And even though they're pressed for time when it comes with money, when it comes to the studio, how much money they have exactly budgeted for vinyl and tapes, there's still a moment of perfection. We see that in a lot of the greats. We see that with James Brown, Michael Jackson. I could go on and on and on of this level of, I don't care how many times we have to do it over. I don't care how many times we have to start from scratch. I don't care. There needs to be something in order for it to be finished. And that stress of Bobby saying, wow, I mean, I'd be willing to start all the way over than to put out trash. And also thinking with a business mindset, let me figure this out without bringing it to the attention of the other members. Because if he said that, hey, y'all, we're going to start over and I'm making a new beat, they wouldn't have had it. They're already at their wits' end with everything else. And as a producer, they probably wouldn't have understood where he was coming from. So that's why we see a lot of the dialogue between Ethan and Bobby. They're brainstorming. They're looking at the switchboards. They have more of a connection in understanding the verbiage, understanding the process, the baseline, what's needed, all types of stuff. So when it came to Bobby creating a new sound and a new beat, all of the lyrics just flowed right with it and everything was perfect. So much so that when all the other members showed up, there was nothing to debate. They liked it. It flowed. Divine loved it. Power loved it. And it was the confidence in saying, this is right. This is perfect. We had to start over. It was a lot of struggle to it. Some people had writer's block. Some people needed to take a moment to go away on the roof or come back in a few days. But they all had their own creative processes. And I thought that was very beautiful and very smart to show in such a small period of time. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I said in several reviews before with this series that there's only so much you can do in an allotted amount of time with an episode. Oh, this didn't happen. Why did they say it like this? This person is rapping, but they don't sound just like them. Those tidbits, okay, and pointing that out to me is minimal and doesn't pull the entire production of the show. To me, those are things that are very minimal. And those are things that we can kind of like, okay, you know, we can, this person doesn't sound like this person doesn't sound like that. You know, people talking about, you know, Ashton sounding like a robot and all this stuff. Okay, I mean, a lot of people, you know, when Christian Bale did the first Batman, they were like, why does he sound like this? And why is he sound... Everybody was like, what the hell? That's not Batman. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, just chill the hell out. Was that movie good or not? Okay, it was good. So just chill out. But I think this is a good series because there's only so much they can do with a lot of moment of time. And there's also things that you have to think about creatively when you have a panel of people who are responsible in writing the script, who are directing, the casting, the training, and people making sure that mannerisms are correct, costume, design, placement, being in a certain time era and making sure that the outside matches the era of what year it is. All of that is hard work. And to just tidbit those little things just to down the entire series and not watch it at all, to me, that's not a good excuse to down the whole, you know, the series. Now, if they had casted, you know, just to make an example, if they had casted someone that just looks just way off, you know, and sounds just like absolutely nothing like the person, they're like, okay, why? But it's just not that bad. It doesn't downplay all of the other good things that are going on with this series and just getting the story out and the development of Wu-Tang and American Saga. That is the whole point, to show the development of the group, of its members, and to give somebody the idea of how everything happened. It's TV. It's not going to be exacto of what happened. Just think about if you were making a movie about yourself, a biopic, okay? Not everything in that movie is going to be absolutely as exact. Think of all of the things that's gone on in your life. It's absolutely impossible to get every single little tidbit unless you just do a 4-hour movie or, I don't know, 8 seasons. I don't know, but it takes a lot. Shouts out to Mario Van Peebles in this direction that he's done with this series, and I thought it was cute. If you noticed, he did a little shout out to his dad on the record cover. Did you notice that? Mr. Melvin Van Peebles. And if you don't know who he is, you need to do your research on his acting career and everything that he's done to help the community and just so much more. And also his son was in the series. I don't know if you caught that. Mandela Van Peebles. They all look alike. So if you didn't catch that was his son, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But he did a wonderful job in that as well, keeping the family oriented. It's like Lil Wayne's thing popping, keeping the family in it. But amazing, and actually rest in love to his father that passed away recently. I know he posted a video about his dad and his last moments with his father on Instagram, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Well, that's the end, and I hope you guys enjoyed this recap and review. In the meantime, check out other series in the pinned comment, and there's so much more that's coming to the channel in October of 2021. We have Queens, we have Ready to Love. Oh my gosh, there's the final season of Insecure on HBO that I just cannot wait for. There's so many shows coming in October. I'm going to be super busy, but support your girl. Subscribe. Click that notification bell so you don't miss any posts. And also check out some of those comedic videos I just posted about R. Kelly, about Jeannie Mai. Check out all that silly stuff that I like to do. Check out those videos, and also follow me on Instagram so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In the meantime, in between time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.